Good afternoon, students. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about the functions, Python, how we write the functions in Python. So as I said, functions are the group of statement or a subcode. So we have already used functions. Can anybody tell me?
So
We have
length, max, min.
So we have done with few functions called length, max, min. These are called which type of functions? These are called built-ins. There are in Python we divide the function in two parts. One is called as a library-based function, which are module-based function, and another are called as a user-defined function. And library-based functions further divided into two parts. One is built-in, and another is module-based. When I say built-in, it means you don't require any library to install, or you need to explore or import any library. But when I say module based, it means you need to write import statement. Is it clear? So let's see what is the function and how it helps us. So function is a group of statement that is executed when it is called. So what we have done till point, we have called the function. We have not defined the function. And at some point of the program. And what is the advantage? Divide and conquer approach. It means we are dividing the process into a small parts, and then we are achieving some goals. So that called divide and conquer problem. So now we'll go to Tata classes and we'll see some video for the introduction, and then we'll further discuss about the functions. So Tata classes we are going. Now we'll see the introduction part. So we are in, as I said, this is a class 12th topic, but in NCERT it is given in class 11. So I am taking computer science. And this is the whole NCERT book is there. So I see all the chapters available in NCERT. I say functions, and I take from class. So let's see introduction. I'll go to lesson plan, and so this is the objective of this lesson. When we talk about why we are studying functions, what will you achieve after learning this? So you can see here what we are going to cover. You will be able to define the function, name two types of functions, and then introduction to the function and different types of functions. We are going to do that, and we are going to learn about the parameters and arguments, and then we'll see what calling of function, how to call. We have already seen the calling, but what we do in calling, we just write the name of the function, then the function gets called. So let's see introduction video.
Introduction to functions. Imagine a teacher creating report cards of 20 students. To make the report cards, she needs to enter the marks of all students. Then calculate the percentage of each student. And finally, give the result. The teacher may write the whole program together like this. Or else, divide the program into smaller tasks.
So you can see here the program means breaking a problem into a smaller parts. It's called modular program. As I said, what is the advantage of functions? Modular program means we are breaking the program conquer approach. So what I said, breaking the problem into the smaller parts to achieve the goal. So similarly, generation of report card means I need enter the student marks. First the data is required, then calculating the percentage, and then pass fail. Based on the percentage of the marks, it is 100%, it is 90% of grades and everything. So this is what the breaking the every program concept must have all these kind of things. A larger program must have.
It's called modular programming. For example, we can divide the program and show you the 3 tasks are performed using functions.
So now you can see here.
Function is a set of instructions.
Now you can see here the word for def. Can you see?
Yes.
So these are the 3 functions. So whenever you are starting function in Python, the keyword which we use def. And that must be a indented form. So when you write def, except the name of the function can be as per the identifier naming convention and the parenthesis. Parenthesis denotes that this is a function, and then we have written colon, and then we write the code. So this is called function header, this is called function definition, and herein I am calling the function. So this is the calling. The function lifecycle have a three concepts. The program, whenever we start the program execution, let's see the program execution as well. At the same time, how the program flow. So for that, I am having another application called Python Tutor. We have already seen. Like say, Python Tutor is an application wherein I can show you how the life cycle of function works. So I just take one function, and this question will be asked in the exam as well. What is the number? Now, it's a very common thing. Most of the books have written wrong. Most of the books written wrong because what they have written, if I go back to the data class, normally whenever we call the function, the people says the function start executing from this statement. But no, when I see on the Python tutor, you will see the first statement will be executed this one. So you will see here line by line. I'll just see this, and I'll say execute. Now when I say execute, you will say next. Can you see the line 1 is executed first? The memory is given. So line 1 is executed, and then I'm going to line. It's asking for the input. I'll say submit. Can you see the execution of cycle? So the first line is executed this, then I went to the next statement, then this, and now the compiler will go back to the function and then start executing. So this is the life cycle of a function, how function works. So if I see, you can see the red marker is up. So this is the way function execute. Let's go back to the data classes. So you can see here. So this function is doing what? Taking an input. This function is performing the task, and this is calculating percentage. So a simple task, we can write the same program into a one program, but we have made it modular. We have given a task. It will always be easier when we are delegating the task. In real life as well, when we delegate the task, it will be better and the performance will be better. Is that clear? Right? If I give a head boy that you have to perform all these duty, so he won't be able to. So easily that we have a basic school captain and everything. So there is a delegation of authority. There is a proper channel. So everyone is there. Now, so let's start with how we write function. It's simply example based. I'll say how we write. How to write these functions? We say def. As I said, how we write a function? We say def. And name of the function I can write here. Let's say add. Now, when I say add, then what we can do? We can write these braces and put. Now, in the previous example, you have seen that nothing was written here, isn't it? Whatever we do, it's called parameter. What do you call? Parameter or argument. What do you say?
Argument.
What is an argument? Let's say I say max. We write max and then in parentheses we write L. So L is parameter. In Python, as we said in Python, the declaration of a variable is not required. So whenever I write A, comma B, so A and B are the parameter. And when you call the function, you must write the parameters. Calling the time way, you need to be must. So now I'll save, let's say whatever we will do in this, I'll save it and I'll share through an email. I'll share this. Title is intro. So what are the advantages of the function now? Can somebody tell me?
So it makes the code modular.
It makes the code modular,
More efficient,
more efficient. What else?
easier to understand.
Easier to understand.
So the same block of code can be used multiple times. Reusability.
Reusability of code can be done. So this is introduction why we need function and everything. Now let's discuss few questions here. The first question is dash are the set of instructions which perform a given task. What is the answer?
Functions.
Next question. An engineer designed a robot. Let's discuss this question. Can you see the question? Can somebody read? So now we are going to revise whatever we have done. Let's do some small activity, quiz based activity. So the first question is dash are the set of instructions which perform a given task. Jashni, what is the answer?
The function.
Functions. So let's submit this. So this is absolutely correct answer. Fine. Next. So functions are the set of instructions which are performed. So let's say next question. This is an engineer has designed. Adya will tell us. Adya, what is the answer for this? I just reduce the size so that it's visible on the screen. Adya, what is the answer? So Adya is saying B part, let's submit. So it's wrong. So let's see the answer. The radius of the sphere and the cone is equal, so we don't need to dimension for both of them. We don't need to write a different function, we can use the same function. So what is the answer? So this is a right answer. Let's say solution. I'll see this is the solution. Next solution. So what is the built-in function are also called?
Keywords. D part, keywords.
Keywords. So I say submit. It's wrong. It's not keyword. Keywords are the reserved words which we have already said. There are 31 types of keywords. We have already discussed. Let's see the solution in here. So library functions. So built-in functions are also called library functions. Let's quickly. So I can. So library function, who will explain me? What is the library function? What is the library function again? I just need the revision.
Functions that are already taken and provided by Python.
Provided by Python, so that's called as a built-in function. So let's do a few more questions. I've already explained you parameters. What are parameters? Which are passed while writing a function. So I'm adding few questions. So this is the first question. Pavitra has written a function to find the distance traveled by a body. So again, this is a case-based question, wherein I am just given you some of the function definition. What are the parameters? So these are the parameters. Is that clear? All these are the parameters. So what is the correct answer for this?
D part.
What is the answer?
D part.
D part. So let's submit. It's wrong. So let's see the solution. The solution is a part wherein I am saying u equal to 0 and a equal to 9.8. This concept is called a default argument. Concept is called as a default argument. When I say default argument, it means when you call the function, if you will not pass the value, it will still work. So that's called the purpose of a default argument. And the beauty of the default argument is it always goes from right to left. I cannot have a default value for t first. If I need to give 3 values, so at first I need to assign the left side variable. Otherwise, when you call, it will not match. Let's see the game based. Now, another question I am making is a game based. So next question, time based. What will be the answer? Which cannot be passed as an argument.
C part.
C part. I'll say C part, which is wrong, because parameter can be any data type. Parameter can be any data type, not an expression. So it means what is the correct answer now?
A.
Cannot A. A is an expression, so A cannot be the answer. So I'll say submit. So you say what we have learned in this? The parameter cannot be a expression. It can be any data type. What are the data types? String, list, tuple, dictionary, integer. So all these are the data types. Am I clear on this? So I hope you are understood the concept of functions till this point. So what is a function? What are parameters? And how we call the functions? And what we cannot pass in a parameter. Is that clear? Now, so another application which I always use to show you the dry run of the programs, which is a Jupyter notebook. Now, when I say, so this I have written here, declaration. This is another program which is called as a factorial, which is on the Jupyter notebook, which you can see run. So this is the function header, here is the parameter, and this is the working of the factorial. You know factorial? So whenever we do the program, the function has three parts: input, process, and output. Isn't it? Input means parameter actually. N is input. Process is done by the function, and then I say return, output is written here. The function itself has three parts. As a program has three parts: input, process, and output. So similarly, whenever we are writing a program in functions, function must have input, process, and output. And the calling statement will, whatever you need to calculate the factorial, you will pass here, it will go here, and it will be calculated and returned as answer, and it will print. This is the way we write a function. So a program can have 10 functions. Is that clear? So if I run this program, you can see here, I write here 5 and I say print. So the answer is life cycle. We have already seen in Python tutor how it works. How it works, the function life cycle. What are the steps? In exam you will get a question. Write these steps for calling the function. This is the first statement, this is second, third, fourth. You need a line number लिखा होगा paper के अंदर, line 1, line 2, line 3. Then you need to write which line will be executed first, and the whole flow you can explain. Clear? Now, so we have already done few questions. Another question we have predict the output, because this is very important question. So this is def function y equal to 100 pre-y. So what will be the answer? So we can check the answer and I can say submit. So it's absolutely right. This is the way to call the function. So let's learn another concept called argument and. So we'll just go back and we learn. So I just clear the tray. So we have already understood the concept of argument and parameters. So let's see on the Tata Class Edge how it works with the next lesson called arguments and parameters. Okay, so let's understand the arguments and parameters. So what is the objective of this? Differentiating between arguments and parameters. The first thing which we need to understand, difference. As I said, in the whiteboard I have explained you what is an argument and what is a parameter. How strings are passed means, as I said, the function can have a multiple parameters, so how string will be passed, and what we are going to cover all this. Let's see one video how it works, functions and argument.
Arguments and parameters. You must have used a calculator. How do you find square root of a number using the calculator? You press the square root button and enter the number. On clicking equal to, you get the answer. Here, the square root function accepts the number which is coming from the user and prints the answer, which is 3. In a similar manner, in programming, we
So you can see here that function is not taking any parameter. Function is not taking any parameter. Now, as I said, any program must have what? Input, process and output. So the function is taking the input. So I'll just continue how it works.
The square root function did not have any parameters. A reminder, parameters are the variables that we write in parentheses of the function declaration. For example, we earlier wrote a function to find the surface area of a cylinder. Then we wrote instructions to
Input.
activate the user. Next, we call the function and assign its value to a variable area.
And this is quality.
We print the area of the cylinder. Here, radius and height are called. Whatever value is input by
ठीक है, आगे बढ़ो। बेटा क्या कह रहे थे, आगे बढ़े? आगे बढ़ने के लिए बेटा हम यही बात कर रहे हैं कि पैरामीटर कैसे बात काम कर रहे हैं। सो थोड़ा सा हम वीडियो को और आगे बढ़ाते हैं, थोड़ा सा हम देखते हैं कि इसके अंदर कैसे काम हो रहा है। सो मैं क्लियर कर रहा हूँ सारा कि अब आप you can see here that how function is taking different parameter which is of a float parameter. It means the program will add two numbers, and as Python says, the Python variable declaration is not compulsory, so whatever we pass it will work whether it is a name or not. So now if I need to see floating,
We also use float parameters.
the first example was string,
Try to calculate
and herein I am passing on the float values.
N and R have float values.
So the function can have
See that we have
string, float or any sort of value as a parameter. Here we are calculating the simple interest, but the value passed within a program is as float value. So the function can have multiple values.
here C is a default parameter.
So another concept I have explained, default parameter. As I said, default parameter is on the right side of the function program. So what is the purpose of default argument? When I say when you are calling a function, if you don't have this, it means you need to pass all the parameters. But when you have a default argument, you can call the function with the two parameters as well. So in this statement, you can see I have passed P and N, principal and N. P will be marked to the A, N will be marked to B, and the C is missing. So what will be the value of C? It will be 3.5. So the default argument works with this. So let's complete this video and then we'll go further.
Let us check the output. We first enter the principal, time, and rate of interest. We get two outputs. The first function call uses the rate of interest as 10, while the second function call does not have the argument rate. So it takes the default value of rate as 3.5 and finds the simple interest. When the interest is
So you can see just back, go back, I go just back. I see here on this screen, you can see here the value of principal simple interest is 350 because we are asking user to enter the value. But here in the rate will be 3.5, so automatically it take. So let's, as we have discussed that what we have done functions and we have differentiated argument and parameter. So let's do the one worksheet which I will be going to share with you as well, so that you can add into the notebook. So what is the first question here? The topic is argument and parameter. The parameter are defined in the function definition before the function name. Is it clear? Is it true? No. The function definition after the function name. Of course, the parameter must be after the function name. And the next question is the value that is sent to function when it is called argument, parameter, keyword or variable. So that you will do at home. I am going to share with you this, and let's see the answer. I'll add more at the worksheet and give it to you. The first was option A, which is called as an argument. Let's discuss. The parameter are defined as, the correct answer is B, the function, as I have already told you. The second is the value that is sent to the function when it is called as an argument, parameter, keyword or so the answer is option A. The value that is sent to the function is called as an argument. And when, as I said, what is the meaning? So the value sent to the function, it means when I am passing the value, let's say I am writing a function called def and I am writing a function a. So when I am calling this function and I have written here 7, so this is called as argument, and let's say here I am written x, so this is called parameter. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see what is the differentiate between, as I said, this is called parameter and this is the argument. Another example, it is clearly mentioned that what is the parameter, what is the argument. The previous question was talking about this only. When you call the function, whatever the parameter you write called argument, and when it goes to the calling statement, then it's called as a parameter. I hope this lecture is very much clear to everyone. Okay, so students, this is end of this lecture because we are already running short of time. So what we have covered today? So we have covered first thing,
Introduction
of functions, then advantages. What were the advantages? Modular programming, easy to debug,
to debug.
and what else? Reusability of code, most important.
Yes.
And which approach? Conquer approach.
Conquer.
We discussed about conquer. Then we have discussed advantages of functions. And the last what we have covered just now, worksheet में हमने क्या क्या पढ़ा है? Parameter and another concept क्या लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पर? क्या क्या पढ़ा हमने?
Arguments
And parameters. So whatever we have discussed, I'll create a worksheet on Tata Class H and share with you. Kindly add to your notebook and submit by Monday. I hope my lecture is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.